Naf River in Bangladesh. The Naf River's average depth is 128 feet, 39 meters, and maximum depth is 400 feet, 120 meters. Its width varies from 1.61 kilometers to 3.22 kilometers. Hello world, I am Muhammad. Hello, I am telling you about St. Martin Island. It flows into the Bay of Bengal in the Indian Ocean, between the Bangladeshi Cox's Bazar district of the Chittagong Division and the Burmese Rakhine State. Historically, Shapure Island, located at the mouth of the river, has played an important role territorially. It is considered one of the immediate causes for the First Anglo-Burmese War. St. Martin's Island is also at the river's mouth. St. Martin's Island. Transportation. The only way to reach St. Martin Island is by water transportation, boats and ships, mostly for tourists, from Cox's Bazar and Teknaf. It is the southernmost union of Bangladesh, situated in 120 kilometers away from the Cox's Bazar city. The only internal transport for island is non-motorized van, pulled by man. The roads are made of concrete, and their condition are decent. Almost hotels run generators until 11 p.m., which are not allowed afterwards, so they then rely on solar power, which is popular throughout the island. There is no electricity supply from the national grid since a hurricane in 1991. Tourism. St. Martin Island has become a tourist spot, and 8 shipping liners run daily trips to the island. Nowadays, tourist has become friendly to eco-tourism. Consequently, eco-friendly resort Josnaloy Beach Resort has become popular to them. Tourists can book their trip either from Chittagong or from Cox's Bazar. The surrounding coral reef has an extension named Chera Dwip. A small bush is there, which is the only green part. People do not live on this part, so it is advisable for the tourists to go there early and come back by afternoon. Original research? A number of efforts have been proposed to preserve the several endangered species of turtles that nest on the island, as well as the corals, some of which are found only on Narakeljanjira. Citation needed. Pieces of the coral reef are being removed to be sold to tourists. 16. Nesting turtles are sometimes taken for food, and their hatchlings are often distracted by the twinkling lights along the beach. Fish, a few recently discovered, are being overfished. Every year, the fishermen must venture further out to sea to get their catch. Most of them use motorless boats. It is possible to walk around the island in a day because it measures only 8 square kilometers, 3 square mile, shrinking to about 5 square kilometers, 2 square mi, during high tide. St. Martin lost 70% of its coral reef between 1980 and 2018 due to anthropogenic factors. St. Martin Island is a small island, area only 3 square kilometers, in the northeastern part of the Bay of Bengal, about 9 kilometers south of the tip of the Cox's Bazar Teknaf Peninsula, and forming the southernmost part of Bangladesh. There is a small adjoining island that is separated at high tide, called Chera Dwip. It is about 8 kilometers, 5 miles, west of the northwest coast of Myanmar, at the mouth of the Naf River. History and description. Millennia ago, the island used to be an extension of the Teknaf Peninsula, but at a later time some portion of this peninsula got submerged and thus the southernmost part of the aforementioned peninsula became an island, and was disconnected from the Bangladesh mainland. The first settlement started 250 years ago, in 18th century, by Arabian merchants who named the island Jazeera. During British occupation, the island was named after the then Deputy Commissioner of Chittagong Mr. Martin as St. Martin Island. Likely because one or more of the Arabs were saint and whose name could not be identified. Local names of the island are Narakeljanjira, which means Coconut Island, and Darakini Dwip, which means Cinnamon Island. It is the only coral island in Bangladesh. Biological diversity and bioprospecting potential. Research by the Bangladesh Department of Environment, DO, with the assistance of the UNDP, demonstrates that the island has a number of ecosystems, including coral-rich areas, mangroves, lagoons, and stony areas. The island is a safe haven to various species of fauna. The presence of 153 species of seaweeds, 66 species of coral, 187 species of oysters, 240 species of fish, 120 species of birds, 29 species of reptiles, and 29 species of mammals were recorded at the St. Martin's Island in 2010. The area in vicinity has been declared as a marine protected area in 2022. S.I. Paul et al. Collected 9 species of marine sponges, phylum, Porifera, from the St. Martin's Island. These are Niphates erecta, Micoli macilenta, Placortis darii, Cleona salata, Cleona carteri, Cleona viridis, Haloclona rosea, Haloclona oculata, and Hemimycale columella. Marine sponges and their associated microbes produce an enormous array of anti-tumor, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, immunosuppressive, antibiotic, and other bioactive molecules. S.I. Paul et al. Explored a total of 15 bacterial genera, comprising 31 different bacterial species from the 9 collected marine sponges of the island. Among them, Bacillus subtilis strains, WS1A and YBS29, have great probiotic potential. It can produce antimicrobial compounds and prevent motile Aeromonas septicemia disease, a major fish disease in Bangladesh, of Rohu, Labio rohata. Bacillus subtilis strains WS1A and YBS29 produce different types of antimicrobial peptides. Fish, Labio rohata, fed with extracellular products of Bacillus subtilis strains WS1A and YBS29 develop complete disease resistance. The metabolites and bioactive compounds derived from marine sponges and sponge microbes also afford abundant potential for pharmaceutical and biotechnological applications. Sovereignty dispute and shootings of St. Martin's fishermen. Fishing is one of largest professional activities of St. Martin's Island's 5,500 residents. However, territorial disputes between Myanmar and Bangladesh have resulted in a state of tension between the countries that can erupt into violence, often targeting unarmed Bangladeshi fishermen. Below is a brief summary of shooting incidents against St. Martin's fishermen. On October 7, 1998, between 3 and 5 Bangladeshi fishermen were killed by Burmese Navy forces just off the coast of St. Martin's Island. 18. On September 8, 1999, one Bangladeshi fisherman was shot and killed by Burmese Navy forces near St. Martin Island. 9 crewmen from the victim's fishing boat abandoned it, swam for their lives, and were rescued by Bangladeshi forces. The Bangladeshi government lodged a formal protest note to Myanmar. On August 20, 2000, the Bangladeshi police reported that Burmese border guards had shot and killed 4 Bangladeshi fishermen off the coast of St. Martin's Island. In 2011, pirates attacked fishermen 5 kilometers off the coast of St. Martin Island and killed 4 of them. On October 6, 2018, the government of Myanmar updated its 2015 to 2018 map of Myanmar Information Management Unit, showing St. Martin as a part of their sovereign territory, and spread the maps in 2 global websites. Following the event, the Myanmar ambassador in Dhaka was summoned by the government of Bangladesh on October 6, 2018. Rear Admiral, RETD, M. Kirshtalam, Maritime Affairs Secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of Bangladesh handed over a strongly worded protest note to him. The Myanmar envoy said it was a mistake to show the St. Martin Island as part of his country's territory. Climate and weather. The best weather is usually between November and February. This is the major tourist season. Between March and July, cyclones can strike. The island was devastated by a cyclone in 1991 but has fully recovered and was untouched by the 2004 tsunami. March to July is off-season for tourists.
Stay with us, subscribe, and for more.